Welcome to my channel. Welcome to the viewers to my channel. I'm Mahadi Silepe. I'm a Lesotho YouTuber living in Perth.
Okay, so things went really good in Malawi after we had been forcibly repatriated and we had fled the camp and we had come back. So even though we were back in the refugee camp, we soon realized that we can't keep living here. And you know, we weren't going to school, things were not going well. And again, as always, Nelson's cousin, Edward, had left before us. So when we fled out to Malawi, other refugees fled to South Africa and to other parts. So he had gone before us. And then he had said
he did go to Malawi.
Yes, he was in Malawi and then fled during the repatriation, the forceful repatriation.
When you guys were hiding, he went
to South Africa with a few of the other Rwandans. And then he told Nelson, you know what, it's livable here, it's hard, but you know, it's livable.
But he sent a letter?
He sent a letter.
Okay.
And so, because we still didn't have cell phones back in those days, or mobiles as we call them here. So then, so
we organized
ourselves to leave, and Nelson left first because I think during a lot of people that had families would always first go to taste the waters, see how things are going, and once they're settled, they will then bring their family. So a lot of people that were in refugee camp, especially if it's a safe refugee camp, they will first, you know, go and test the water. So Nelson went first, and in the meantime,
at this point, how long had you guys been married for?
Well, Nelson went in '99. December.
And
so it was a
year and
4 months. A year and 4 months. So he left, gets to South Africa. In the meantime, he actually got jailed because obviously he didn't have documents. So there's a way you can get into a country without documents by paying money. But then they got held up, jailed for 2 weeks. Whilst we are wondering what's happening, because I'm now trying to call his cousin, and his cousin's like, no, he's not here yet. So we had 2 weeks where we didn't know what had happened. And eventually he
what were your worst fears at that time? Those 2 weeks?
You know what? You know, I just feel like I had a really long period where I was really numb about a lot of things. I had already seen too many people die in my face, in front of us. And you know, like I didn't have, there was nothing bigger than that. I'm ready to accept anything. You know, it's just normal. You know, it had become normal life. Although it's not normal, but it had been normalized. You know, you had no tears to keep crying, basically. So at that stage, I'm like worried, but that's all I can do, basically. I'm not like crying about it or anything because it's not gonna help. So we were just worried, and then eventually, he arrived there, and then a while later, my mom. On the other hand, we had heard that in Zimbabwe, people, that get there, they can put our kids in school. So my mom and my auntie, so the same auntie we left Kenya with, so we were still together, and they had heard, oh no, we left her in Malawi, she stayed in Malawi, and then my other auntie that's here as well, and her family, we, both with my mom, they had heard that in Zimbabwe, people can put kids in school. And so because in Malawi, we weren't allowed to go to school, to mingle with, the people, the locals. So for my parents, it was a big thing. We need our kids to go back in school. So that was their thing. So my mom actually and my auntie left to go to Zimbabwe for that reason. But my auntie left first, I think, or she came after us. We went first. So I left with my mom to Zim and my brothers. And a few other people. And so Nelson, then when I was in Zim, he sent money. No, he actually had sent money when I was in South Africa. So Nelson
left first.
He left first.
South Africa, and when he was gone, you guys went to Zimbabwe. Yeah,
so he sent money that I was meant to use. So I wasn't meant to stop in Zim. I was meant to go straight to South Africa. So there are people that, they were refugees that kind of like learned the art of traveling with no No passport.
Okay, no document.
And you just gave them money, dollars, as long as you had money talks, basically.
Yeah.
They had like prices, different price for different things. If you want to go the safer way, and if you want to go to South Africa, this is how much you pay.
Smugglers.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and then they had people, they worked with locals. So they just had different price tag for different journeys. So I was meant to just go straight through to South Africa. But now we had 2 kids that we had taken in. They lived with us when we lived away from the camp, where Nelson was teaching. And they lived with us for a while. And they were living with their mom, but mom had remarried. And it wasn't a very good relationship for the kids.
Their mom is remarried.
Yes, and it wasn't really working well for the kids. So their mom had wanted them to also go to Zim, but things happened and she couldn't have the money because of the situation at home. So she begged us, please, can you take them? So these guys had become like our family. You know, we had lived together in the camp, then we moved together out of the camp. So I was like, I can't leave my brothers. They were like my brothers. So I used the money that Nelson had given me to go through to South Africa to bring the kids, and we went to Zim. So when I got to Zim, I got stuck because I had no money. So I had to wait again for Nelson to make more money, to send some more money.
So you managed to write him a letter to tell him the situation?
So in the refugee camps, there were people with phones. And at that time, Nelson had a number. So there were people you would go and pay money
to them.
There were like few people, and you make a phone call. So that's how we would, Or else Nelson would call that person and say, I'd like to talk to my wife, and then they will arrange a time and then we'll pay them either way. So receiving and making a call, you had to pay for it. So it was a business within the refugee camp. So that's how we would communicate, because I still didn't have a mobile at that time. And then eventually, a few months later, Nelson sent the money, and I took off with Joy. But before that, so when we go to Zim, Joy got so sick. So Joy is our firstborn.
Okay, and when was she born?
So she was born in 1999 in Malawi.
So
a few months before we left Malawi.
Okay. So when Nelson left, Joy was already there?
She was already there.
Okay.
Yeah, she was a few months. So actually, you left her, she was a baby.
She was 7 months.
He remembers. And then when we got to Malawi, she was actually sick, because as we were going through, so we weren't using the border. We were going through the side, the back doors, and as we were between Mozambique and Zim, we actually went through a big bush. It was like a forest, and it was more like a slopey forest. So we were going up this way, climbing the mountains, and I had her in my back the African way, because there was no way I would have carried her in my hand, and my bags. So I've got bags, and my friends, my brothers are helping me with my other bags, and I've got this kid, and it's raining, and we can't have umbrellas, because if they see the umbrella through the forest, they will know that people are going there. So we couldn't use umbrellas. So the whole rain drenched on us. And so we were not told that at the end of the forest, where we crossed to get into Zimbabwe, there is a
river, or
but it's not a river.
a cliff, or
do you know what is that
fall?
water? A fall.
Yeah.
So the fall is this side, but the waterfall is this side. But that the water at the top is fast. It's not like calm water, because it falls into this way. It was fast. So we get there and we're like, oh my God, how are we going to cross this place? It's a few meters away, but it's going fast. And we're like, hey, you can't walk in it. It's too fast.
You're crossing from
Mozambique, the Mozambique side to go to the Zim side. We weren't told that there was water to cross. So it's going really fast, the way the falls goes. And you can't walk in it. It would push you away. And now, remember, it's been raining. So that means the level has gone higher. And we're like, Haibo, how are we going to cross? So anyway, we were like, you know what? The best way to cross this place, the guy was with us, is to hold each other's hand and to run as fast as possible. So we have to go as fast against the force of the water. We need to beat it. And the only way we can beat it is by going as fast as possible. Don't think, just go as fast as possible. And you know, I'm trying to tighten my kid. Joy actually almost fell into that water because it loosened. And I got so not lucky, I got blessed because she didn't fall. She literally almost fell, but we had reached the other side. Because I could not have let go. I can't let go of the hands that are holding me. So I had to just let go here, and I can't hold it. And it literally like went kush when I was already on that side. So she didn't fall in the water. So it was really terrible. And then we managed to get on the other side. I don't know if we dropped.
How many were you holding hands there? How many were you running?
So it was my 3 brothers, my mom, myself, and the 2 other boys. So we were 8, and the person that was leading us. Yeah, so we were all 9 together. 9 together. So we kind of like all held hands.
I've never asked. Was it night or afternoon or morning? Or
it was because we started the journey in the morning. Because when we got to Mutare, it was during the day. Because we looked horrible. We had like walked the whole night. So we had walked the whole night in the forest because that's the best time to go. Because if you go during the day, the immigration will see you. Because you can actually see where the immigration is by doing this. It's on the other side. It's visible. So the trick is you go there at night. So the whole night we were getting drenched, walking through, and we have this person, the guide in front of us who's done the journey many times, so he knows where to go. So by the time we got to Mutare, it was actually morning because people were going to work, looking all fresh. But remember now, Tina, we've been drenched the whole night and you know, in the mud and everything. So we looked horrible and we had eyes. I remember people looking at us, you know, with disgust, wondering who are these people, you know? We probably had not showered in like days. So we probably stank as well.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And stuff like that.
How long did it take you from Malawi to Zim?
From Malawi to Zim? Few days.
And I can't remember, did you guys walk the journey?
No, so we took transport.
Okay.
But it left us, we took transport because then from Malawi we crossed to Zim, but we were left in an area before you get to
the border.
To the border,
so that the immigration
the immigration may not see you, and then you start the bushland. So it's a bit far away. Yeah, that got into Zim. How did we go? Mozambique. Oh no, we went to Mozambique first. We went into Mozambique. Yeah, we went into Mozambique first. I can't remember much about Mozambique. I remember eating food and it was really hot there. That's all I remember. I actually can't remember much. And we didn't stay there long. We just went through. And I don't think we had a lot of issues there. We just paid money, and then that was it. We didn't have a lot of issues. And then we get to Mutare, and then from Mutare, then the guys that got us there helps you then take transport to Harare. So we took a transport to Harare, and then we got to Harare 6-7 hours later. Because it's quite a try. Yeah, it is.
So how long were you in Harare before you could make it to South Africa?
I was there for almost 2 months, I think.
Probably.
Yeah, because then Joy got sick. Remember all that rain that fell on us. By the time we got to Harare, that child was gone. She was, I don't know, she had bronchitis, she had everything. So the first thing that had to be done is nurse her back to being, to being okay. So we couldn't have gone straight away. Plus, I was already feeling so stressed. I was not ready to have another journey. And the next journey, I was on my own with her. So I didn't have anyone else. And my mom was already too worried about it. You know, being a mother to a daughter, with another daughter, she wasn't comfortable with it. So eventually we got a guy who were meant to get us into South Africa, but as we were at the border of Zimbabwe, he disappeared. He said, here, you go there, and then the next thing he disappeared. So he disappeared before I could cross, and I was stuck. We had just gone through... Bridge? It was a bed bridge, and we had just gone through the Zimbabwean side. So the Zimbabwean side, they exchange money so quickly, you don't even know what's happening. They just exchange money, you go in as if you're going in as well. And then they exchange money so quickly, and then you go back into the bus, and then the bus gets to the South African side, and then you go in, and then they exchange money again so quickly. But he was now, and because it was in 2000. I don't know what had just happened, and so the security was a bit tighter. So even around Bedbridge, there were securities, there were police all over the place. So they had made that, so after you stamp, if you are walking out, because the buses then go on the other side and you meet them after you've crossed the border, they had made a little, like a one-way corridor where everyone passes. And on the other side of the corridor, there's police. And you can't give money to the police, right? You are giving money to the people in here, but you're not going to bribe that person. So me, and then he disappears. So the guy disappears on me, and I didn't see him again. He literally disappeared. And so I'm standing, I've just come out of there, and I'm looking at that corridor, and I'm like, I can't go through the corridor because I can see the police on the other side. All of them there. And so I'm standing here, there's like fences, but one that you can like go through. And I'm standing, I'm like, God, what am I going to do? I'm dead. And it's at night. What am I going to do? And so, I don't know. I actually don't know where this person came from. Because this person came from and said, here, my dear. And I didn't see the person again.
You say, here what?
Go through here, my dear. And then this person led me on the other side. But it's like, it happened so quickly. And I didn't see where the person disappeared. So, to this day, I actually don't know if this person is a human being, if this person is an angel of God, because I am more leaning towards to the fact that it's an angel, because I actually did not even see them go, they just came, showed me where to go, say, go through here, and then they disappeared. So I'm like, I did not even see them walk through anywhere. So I actually don't know who this person is, but I've concluded that it has to be an angel of God. Because if it was a human being, I would have seen where they're walking, but I couldn't see them. And I'm like, who's this person? But where I went where they told me, and I managed to get on the other side without going the corridor.
Was it that fence that you
Yes, I managed to go through the fence and then go through where the person had showed me to go without going through there. So
where you meet the police?
Where I meet the police. So I managed to, go across without meeting the police people. And as soon as I got across, someone stole my money. They actually stole my wallet. And I couldn't scream because I'm thinking, I don't have documents. If I start screaming, I'm attracting people. So I had to be quiet about it. So now I am on the other side at night. And luckily I had $100 rands left. And 100 rands, which I had kept in my hymnal. So I had, how back in the days you have your hymnal and you have I had a cover. They had made me a cover, so I had actually put 100 rands in between there. That's all I had left, because my dollars and everything had been taken with my wallet. So now I'm like left with this money, and it was the exact amount to leave Bedbridge to go to Joburg. That was the exact amount, 100 rands back in those days. That's it. As I was gonna go to, there was still a taxi going at night. As I was going to go there, a lady, because there was a lot of Zim ladies that do business, and one of the ladies stopped me. She's like, no, my child, don't go in the taxi at night. Those taxis are bad. They go too fast, and they causes a lot of accident. Come sleep with me. Tomorrow morning, you're gonna go. I'm also going to Joburg. We go together. So we actually slept on the floor on the other side. Hey, there were cockroaches. I tell you, I did not sleep that night because I'm thinking cockroaches are gonna go in my child's ears. So I was guarding my baby the whole night from cockroaches because I don't want my child to have cockroaches. So we didn't even eat that night. So we slept with that lady there, and then the next morning she showed me whether she was also taking the same taxi. Got into a taxi to Joburg. We were almost caught because the police came and checked, and we're talking to people, and I'm like, oh my God, if he tries to speak to me in any of the language that I've spoken in this country, I'm gonna be caught because I know nothing. And eventually nothing happened, and we left. And we got to Joburg with no money because I had no money to proceed to Durban. I knew I was going to Durban because that's where Nelson was. And the plan was when I get to Durban, I'll call him on those phone calls that I have with the plane phones, and then he can come and get him. But now everything has gone off plan. I'm still there at night. So everything, nobody knows where I am. My mom, I don't know how she got to know that the guy left me. I don't know, because Nelson, by the time I got there, he knew. So I still don't know how my mom got to know that this guy left me in the middle of nowhere.
I have no idea. He didn't know where you were.
And so, I get to Joburg, and then this taxi guy, this taxi as in cab, he's like, oh, where do you want to go? I'm like, I have no money. I need to go to where you take the taxis to Durban, but I actually have no money. And he's actually bothering me. I'm telling him I have no money, and he keeps walking around me. Eventually, you know what? He's like, come. And I said, but I told you I don't have money. Do you know that guy? I actually went in. I went in with my child. He dropped me at the bus stop for, I'm a taxis for Durban. And then he's asking me for money. I'm like, hi, boy. I told you I had no money. You think I was joking with you? You brought me here. So I was so pissed off, you know. And by then you can imagine, I've had enough of life. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
And then he left. So he actually drove me to the taxi with no.
Honestly.
And he didn't whinge about it. I was just like, hi, boy. I told you I have no money. Why are you asking me for money? I told you I have no money. So and then he left, and I'm there on the queue. So I'm there, and I'm there mid, because it takes from Bedbridge, I think, to Joburg. It's a couple of hours. It's about 6 hours. So we got to Joburg midday, and I'm standing there to the bus stop, and I'm thinking, you know, how am I gonna get to Durban? I actually don't know how to get to Durban because I have no more money. And I'm trying to hear people that are passing to see if I can catch someone that speak any of the language that I speak. If, you know, I was thinking if I can hear someone speak French or my language or Swahili or Kinyarwanda, I'm catching that person. They're not leaving me here. The next thing is 4 o'clock. I've been standing for 4 hours, and no one has passed that I know. And I'm thinking, if I sleep here at night, and this is Joburg that I've heard, and I haven't heard good stuff about it, I'm gonna get raped. That's all I'm thinking. And then I was like, you know what, Lord, I am going to approach. You know how at the rank there's the chief ranks? Yeah. So I had seen the guy that was like in charge. So I'm like, I'm going to approach him and tell him my story and see if he's going to do anything. So I approached him with my English, my broken English, and said, you know, my wallet has been stolen, and obviously because I'm a woman and I've got a kid, that's already. And I said, you know, I just need to get to Durban. If we get to Durban, my husband is there. He's gonna pay. But like right now, I have nothing. I'm a refugee. My wallet has been stolen. I don't know what to do, you know, and I'm like crying here. So he's like, wait. He made me wait for an hour. And I'm like, oh,
that means he was organizing.
I'm like, maybe he's ignoring me. And I'm still standing there. I'm not going anywhere. So eventually,
crying.
I don't know. I think she must have cried, but I think I'm too stressed to even care. She's a refugee child. You know, she was still breastfeeding, so I gave her the boob. I don't know if she got anything out of it, but I had not eaten the whole day, and I wasn't hungry because I'm too stressed to be hungry to even think of food. And really, I don't have money to buy anything anyway. So if you don't have money, you can't get hungry. There's no use to be hungry if you have, you know, you get hungry when you have money to go and buy food. So eventually, he was like, come, you know that last chair in the taxi? That last chair by the conductor, that's where I sat.
The one that has
the unwanted chair.
The uncomfortable one in the middle.
That's where I checked with my baby. And I was like so grateful. We got to Durban late at night, probably around the midnights. So people were getting dropped to where they were going, and I had the address. And now we were getting there at night. I did not know that Nelson, he was still living in the same apartment, but had moved from 70-something, 80-something number to 30-something, oh no, from 30-something to 80-something. So me, I'm going to that number. Nobody is there, and it's at night. And I think I tried to call the number.
You buzzed at the door, and then you talk, but there was nobody.
Yeah. So eventually, the taxi guy says, you know what? I'm sleeping here. Let's go where I sleep, because you know the taxi guy, they used to sleep in their taxis to wait for the next day to take the next passengers.
Yeah, because it was the last one.
It was the last one. So he's like, we'll sleep together, and the next in the morning, early in the morning, before I go, I will take you back. So he actually bought me a cup of tea and bread. But Joy was so hungry, I did not eat that bread. She literally ate the whole thing and drank the whole tea. So again, I slept
I'm so
in hunger.
But this Firstly, that woman at the party, like, slept with the, and this guy, like, these genuine people.
Yes. And so the next morning we come, and as I step inside, I've tried to buzz, nobody's in. They let me into the apartment. It was a big apartment that actually was a hotel that had just been converted into an apartment. And as I am pressing so I get into the lift to press to go where they were living. As I'm standing, I knock at the door, nobody is there. I see a lady that lived in the refugee camp in Malawi with us, that had left prior to us. She said, "Oh, Yvette, you are here, you've come." Because they all know each other. Yeah. So all the Rwandan refugees lived in that flat, and we all came from Malawi. So she knew me, and then she's like, "Oh, they've just moved. He's just moved. They are in this number." So thank goodness. I get there, and then Nelson comes down. He pays the taxi man, and I think they gave him more money actually, because I said to him, "Hey, do not just give him money. Give him everything you have. I don't care what you have. Just give it to him, because this one." He's a father.
He did a good job.
He's a father to me. And you know, like, I was scared at night. I'm like, hey, how am I going to sleep in the taxi with the taxi driver? I'm a woman, you know. I'm a young woman. I've got a young kid. What if he rapes me? Because because a lot of people during the war were getting raped. So all I'm thinking is like, I'm going to get raped here.
I mean, even if you hadn't gone through the war, that's just how the world is,
yes.
You know?
So then we get there, and then the guy go back. You know, I don't even know his name. I wish I knew him. I wish I could now thank him properly for what he did, you know. And that's how we got there safely. Yeah. And that's how we ended up in South Africa.
10 minutes.
Done.
We can't finish this without saying how you come back here. Where are your families now? Did you ever, your mom went to Zim.
Yeah.
Nelson, you left your mom in Zaire, was it?
Yes.
Did you ever meet them again? What happened? What has happened since?